Hello everyone and welcome back. This is video number 44. Like always, I'm going to start by reviewing what I did in the last video. The first thing I did was I slightly modified this count actions method. I removed continue and then replaced it with break because once we find the first non-alert on value, we stop incrementing the actions variable, and so the best thing to do there is just to break because there's nothing else in this loop that we want to do. So break is a better choice here instead of continue, even though continue does work. Break is more accurate. Also, I added this values call, which instead of this pulling, so this right here is a query set. This get history dot order by. Get history returns a query set, and then order by is a query set method that returns a query set. So then dot values, it tells this query set to only return the alert on value. That's because we're only using the alert on value. And then dot iterator tells the query set to not return all of the values at once. It just returns one at a time. And this is important because we're going to break. And so we don't need all of these values. We only need it up until the point we see our first alert off. And so that's just an optimization. And then also in the perform method, this set alert on, I moved it to below this mute after block because we're counting the actions that have already happened. And when you do set alert on, it sets the alert value to it increments this count actions. So this count actions returns 1 after this is called. But if you call this before alert on is called, this will return 0. And that's what we want. So I fixed that. Also, the before this is created a variable called history. I changed that to say first on because that's just, I think, a better name. It's more descriptive, I think. And then also I added this first on to this if statement. So before it was just if should alert. And now it says if first on or should alert. And this allows these methods down here, these should alert, which by the way I renamed also to should do action because it's just a better name. So now these methods don't have to worry about the first alert. So now if it's the first time the alert went on, we just automatically do the actions, and we don't even bother with this should do action. And so that means that these methods only get called on the second, third, fourth, and fifth, and so on times that the alert happens. It doesn't get called on the first alert. And that just makes it simpler, so we don't have to deal with like as many corner cases for this. Also, I got rid of this equal sign because it's just we say mute after a certain point, not mute at a certain point. So it just makes it easier to understand. And yeah. And then also, yeah, I renamed these. Also, the once, now we just say return false because this is supposed to only send an alert once, and that happens when first on is true. But then on the second alert, this is always going to return none, or it's going to return false. And so that way it only alerts on the first time, and it never alerts in the second or third or fourth or whatever. So, and then this is complete, this is done. And then should do alert, again, I renamed it. And then the main thing I did yesterday was I implemented this incremental backoff. It's essentially, we count the number of actions. And this was this function right here, which I wrote like maybe 2 videos ago. We count the number of actions, and then we calculate the offset by plugging that into this formula. It's just already done -1, and then you raise 2 to that power. And then we get the previous, which is just get history.latest. And then we determine the MSI of next action. And this MSI is machine sequence ID, which I wrote in like 2 or 3 videos ago. And we just take the previous tick MSI and we add the offset. And then we return if this metric tick offset. So in this case, the tick is the tick that happened when we, so like this whole thing is being called when I run a tick. So like when I run a tick here, it's generating a tick and then passing it through. And when this gets called, the tick is what gets made when I invocated that make tick function. And so we're just seeing that the machine sequence ID of this tick equals the MSI of the when we expect the next one to happen. And so I wrote this code, but I didn't test it. And in this video, I'm going to test it. And then also I made this really quick change where I just moved this return up above the call to send mail. And that's just because when we send mail, it like pauses for like 5 seconds. And it's kind of annoying, so I just skip this. I'm eventually going to move it back, but just for the purposes of developing, I'm going to skip that for now, just to speed everything up. So in this video, I'm going to test this backoff to make sure it works. And before I do that, I'm just going to add some print statements, just so that I know what's happening. I'm just going to print out each variable here. There we go. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is actually put the backup in the, we're going to install this backup metric. And so this is just saying that the R2, which is this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So this is just a folder with test. And we're just testing that the directory size is greater than 100. And it just is. I added a file that's more than 100 bytes. And so when we do the tick and we check the alerts, this is going to return true, and that's going to turn on the alert, and then hopefully it'll do the backoff correctly. So, and first I'm going to make sure the database. So I'm going to refresh this, and these ones are a different alert name, so it's not going to have any effect. So I'm going to now test this. Alert on, backoff, correct. Send the email, and then now it's going to actually call the should alert, and it's saying tick has no attribute MSI. So that's just a typo. It's here it is, right here. That should be. It's not MSI. It's machine sequence ID. So I'll try it again. Actually, check the database. Yeah. So here's the first one, and then the second one crashed, so it didn't make it. So let's try it again. Already done is 1, offset is 1, previous, I should say previous MSI. Tick as metric. MSI of next action is 339. And this MSI is the other one I want. Okay. I'm just going to clear out the database. Okay, that's the first one. It sent the email. I'll do the second one. Where is this happening? 132. think it's just, yeah, if it's from the database, it's just self-tick. Okay. Okay, that's correct. Offset is 1. Previous MSI 341. Next action is 342. Okay, that's not right. Try this again. This MSI is 345, MSI of next 345. Okay, so it sent the email. That's correct. We did 1. The offset is 1. The MSI of the previous was 344. This one is 345. So the next MSI would be the previous plus the offset, which is 344 plus 1. That's 345. So this MSI and the MSI of next action is 345, and so it returns true, and so it sends the email. So then the next one is false. So now we've already done 2, and the previous was 345, which is what this one was. This was 345, and it did the action, and so the offset is 2 because it's number done minus 1, which is 1, and so 2 to the first power is 2, so the offset is 2. So the next action would be previous plus offset, so 345 plus 2 is 347, but this one is 346, which is correct. This is 345, 346, and so these don't match, so we return false. So we'll try the next one. Now it's true, so we've done 2 already. Offset again is 2. The previous alert MSI was 345, which was 2 would be up here. MSI of next action, it would be previous plus offset, so that's 347. This one's 347, so true. We sent the email. We do the next one, it's false. The next MSI is 351, which is 347 plus 4, 351. This is 348, so we're not there yet. So we'll try it again. So we'll take 4, and so now we did it. Already done is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 to the second power is 4. The previous alert was 347. 347 plus 4, 351. This MSI is 351. They match, so we return true. We sent the email. Okay, now we've done 4. So 4 minus 1 is 3. 2 to the third power is 8. The previous alert was 351, which was the last one. 351 plus 8 is 359. So the next action is 359. We're at 352, so it's false. So we do this 7 more times. Should be false for the next 7 times. And now it's true. So now we've done 4. Offset is 8. Previous plus offset 359. We're now at 359, so it's true. And then now it's going to be 16 and so forth. So then we do this another 16 times, and then so that's correct. This is how it's supposed to work. Then we can see in the database it's making these things, so now it works. So I can delete all this stuff because we know it works. And yeah, so now the next thing I'm going to do is going to combine these 2 functions. These 2 functions are nearly exactly the same, just very tiny changes, so I'm just going to combine them together. So I'm just going to say set alert and say status. So if the current status is the same as what we plan on setting it to, then we return. Otherwise, we set alert to on. So if this equals on, then this will be true, and then this will be set to true. But if this is set to off, then this will not be equal, and this will be false. And so alert on will be set to false. I'm just going to say on by default. And then that's pretty much it. So I can delete these 2. And so anytime the older function is called, I just replace it. So like this, just set alert, just say on. Then set alert, this will just be off. And let's just make sure this works. I don't think that worked. Let's just set alert status. Maybe that's a better function name for it. Clear this out. Okay, that's not working. So I gotta find out why it's not working. We'll look at the database. Oh, I see why. This is, oh wait, no. Well, this is, I'll figure this out in the next video. It's probably something really minor, but that's going to be it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to fix this, and then also I'm going to start implementing, I'm also going to, make some changes to this as well. Also, I'm going to add a feature where we can say, so when it goes off, so like when the alert stops happening, when it goes off, we want to send an email on off. So we'll add that feature, and so that's just going to be an if statement down here. If self alert went off, you want to do actions. This will be off. So this is basically do actions. So I'm going to move this into its own function called do action. I'm going to replace all this code with it just called a do action. And so then off gets passed in. And it will also, I will add a status to this right here. And so then if it's if status is on, then we send the normal email. If status is off, then we will send a different email that just says this metric, instead of saying it has triggered an alert, we will say that the alert is now off, and it'll let you know that the alert has been canceled. So, but that'll be in the next video. I'm going to commit this. And that's it, and I'll see you next video.